My stepmother threw away every photo of my biological mother in the house. I found them all in a storage unit she'd been paying for secretly for 9 years. My mom passed away when I was 7. Cancer. Fast and brutal. My dad was destroyed by it but held everything together for me. Our home was full of her, photos on every wall, her handwriting on recipe cards in the kitchen, her perfume still on a scarf in the closet. Then Dad met Diane when I was 11. They married 2 years later. Within 6 months every single photo of my mother had quietly disappeared. Dad said he'd packed them away for safekeeping. That it was healthier to move forward. That Diane felt uncomfortable. I was 13. I believed him. At 22 I moved out and asked Dad for the boxes of Mom's things. He went looking. Spent 3 days searching the attic, the basement, the garage. They were gone. He genuinely didn't know where they were. I went through the household finances from our shared family account. I'd been added as an emergency contact years earlier and still had read access. A monthly charge. $74. A storage facility 20 minutes from our house. In Diane's name only. Started 3 months after the wedding. Still active. 9 years of payments. Never mentioned once. I drove to the facility with my birth certificate and a copy of my mother's death certificate. Enough to prove I was next of kin to the contents if challenged. The manager was sympathetic. Let me in with Diane present on a video call she didn't know was being recorded, legal in my state. Inside the unit, 4 boxes. Every photo. Mom's wedding dress. Her journals. Birthday cards she'd written to me in advance for milestones she knew she'd miss, my 16th birthday, my graduation, my wedding day. Diane had taken them all. Stored them in the dark for 9 years. The cards were the thing that broke me open completely. Mom had written 11 of them. Sealed. Labeled in her handwriting. My name on every envelope. Diane had known they existed and said nothing. For 9 years my father thought those cards were lost. He'd grieved them specifically. I remembered him crying once saying he wished she'd left me something to open when I grew up. She had. Diane had just decided we didn't deserve to know. I photographed everything. Then I called my dad and told him to sit down. I read him the storage unit address over the phone. He drove there in 20 minutes. He stood in that unit holding my mother's wedding dress and didn't speak for a long time. Then he called Diane. I heard one side of the conversation. It was short. His voice was completely flat in a way I'd never heard before. Diane moved out within the month. The divorce was filed 6 weeks later. No contest. Dad didn't fight the timeline. She spent 9 years trying to erase a woman she was threatened by. That woman had written her daughter 11 letters from beyond the grave. You can't erase someone that loved. I read every card. Dad sat next to me for all of them. Diane wasn't mentioned once.